There we go. That's better.
Okay.
I think we should be live right now. So let me go pull up the chat real quick. Oh, no, that is not it.
Yeah, it's weird. I can see the stream. Like, it's weird because like I can see the stream better on my phone, but not on the iPad. I don't know. It's strange.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, guys, we are back with Solid Brix Studios. David Hall himself.
What's up, guys?
He's a pretty small YouTuber. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Yeah. I'm pretty not known in the.
He's pretty new. He hasn't been around the Lego YouTube game.
Oh yeah.
I thought we'd give him some extra exposure.
Oh yeah, totally.
But we're both working on crates, so this is the double crate stream.
It's Crateception. That's funny. Someone just literally commented, "Crateception has begun."
So how does this work exactly? How does it does it go by like who's talking and then that shows their video feed?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. I've seen these things happen so many times. I'm just like, how do I do it?
Right.
I'm a pretty tech savvy person too, so I don't know. Just never gotten into it, I suppose. I don't know.
Now you're learning. Now you can do Google Hangout streams all the time, and you can Rich Boy J.
Absolutely.
A valuable experience.
You have the 1x4.
1x4. I do have the 1x4, bro.
So
it's great to like have a conversation with you. It's not through text. I guess this is more or less us meeting you.
Yeah, we gotta grill you pretty hard. So everyone who's come on here, our first question is for you to rank the Star Wars movies. Are you able to do that right now?
Dang. Yeah, I guess so. You know what's funny is I actually got asked this question. I'm surprised the video's not up, but I got interviewed by, I don't know if you guys ever seen them. They go to a lot of the Lego conventions. They're one of the vendors. They're called Weston Toys, but I know the owner of it and a couple guys that work at it, and they wanted to interview me for their YouTube channel a couple weeks ago. And during that interview, they asked me like pretty much every Star Wars question you could think of. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that was one of them. So I'm trying to remember what I said to them during that interview. I think I said Revenge of the Sith is actually my favorite.
Okay.
I know that sounds like terrible, and I'm sure the comments are gonna go like crazy. But I don't know.
We have some prequel fans that watch our stuff pretty
There will be a few people who will appreciate you, especially like we are not fans of the prequels, and a lot of people who watch these streams know that. So they'll be happy that there's some more representation here.
So I would put like Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Empire. Maybe Empire goes above. Yeah, probably Empire goes above Last Jedi. I'm sure that people get pissed off at that. I don't know. This is not like a well thought out list at all. But
that's fine. It's very spur of the moment.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, and then I don't know. Probably the least on the last is definitely Attack of the Clones. Unfortunately,
that seems to generally be everyone's last.
Yeah, even
go ahead.
Prequel. Yeah, even like hardcore prequel fans will admit, okay, Attack of the Clones is awful.
It's like what sucks though is there's so much lore in the movie, but it's just the story's so bad. It's so so terribly executed.
It's just so all over the place, you know.
Yeah, like, it's something. It's a joke. I mean, I go to film school, and all of us always joke about how bad it is.
Nice. All right. Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, there is your David Hall, official David Hall. You've heard it here first. Star Wars ranking. Dude, I can't stop staring at all those gunships sitting up there. Are those?
Oh yeah. I wish I could get a better angle, but like everything that's like here right now, it's just like a mess on this table. Let me see what I can do so everybody can get like a better view of what I'm doing exactly.
All right.
I think I can spin the camera around. Let's see. Yep.
Yeah, give us the Solid Brix room tour.
This is a behind-the-scenes view.
Nope. Let's see. Nope. I guess it doesn't want to let me spin the camera around. That sucks. All right. Well.
We tried.
move. This is all. I don't know if you can kind of see it here. These are all the. Oh god, they're falling. But that's all the things I've been making. It's the pieces. It is something to make those, especially over a period of time. I think I've been working. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. Been working on them now.
Jeez, man, that is.
Losing
I mean, we worked on ourselves for quite a bit, but I can only imagine. Like with ours, it was at least somewhat random enough. Like we got to kind of make many different shapes, but having to sit there and do that many builds, I can only imagine how mind-numbing that can get.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see if I can make a makeshift stand for the iPad. All right, that's the best I can do. That doesn't really help. I tried.
Oh god.
No, it's more genuine this way. It's like there's no production value. It's just three Lego builders just chatting it up.
Hanging out.
There you go. Exactly.
So what's your timetable with your crate? Like, I don't know if you've mentioned on your videos before if you have because Jay and I have a deadline that's rapidly approaching. So I'm just wondering if you have like a point where you think to yourself that you should be done.
Yeah. So I ideally like to be done by the end of the summer, and I think that's very much possible to be done by then. But I don't know. It really comes down to a lot of different things. So. I'm debating whether I want to talk about it here or not. Just like future plans of what I'm doing over the summer. I guess I can talk about it, but not spear all the details. But basically, I'm working on this YouTube project that I'm going to be announcing here probably in the next week. But it involves me traveling all over the country. Yeah, and so that would be like going to Chicago and seeing you guys at Brick World would be like part of this trip.
Okay.
And so the amount of traveling I'm planning on doing is going to take up like all of it in total is going to take up a month, just like summer. So with that, with that traveling, it's going to be tricky to like build a lot. So yeah, that's kind of the complication in terms of trying to get it done at the end of the summer.
Interesting. Will we ever see you down in Texas at Brick Fiesta for this traveling thing?
Yeah. When is Brick Fiesta exactly?
It's July, I think 5th through 8th. So the weekend, like right after the 4th of July.
Well, so basically, I'm doing like 3 or 4 different 1-week travel trips. One trip is from where I live, which is the middle of Virginia and Richmond, and so that I'm planning on driving all the way up to Canada to visit one friend, and do some.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's all good. And then I'm traveling all the way down to Florida and heading away, and then fly out to either Chicago or Texas, and then drive the Midwest through St. Louis or all of that area up. It would be like one way or the other. So I would start in Texas and go to Chicago, or I would start in Chicago and go down to Texas.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then the last trip is possibly around BrickCon time in October, from Portland, Oregon, all the way to Vancouver. So that is the idea. We'll see what happens. But it's all of this is for something Lego based that I'm working on.
Wow.
Does it involve you building? Can you confirm that?
Actually, no. It involves other people building stuff.
Okay.
So it's not about me really. Actually, it really isn't at all. It's more of a thing. I don't know. I don't want to give all the details away.
That's fine.
He's got to say for his channel, Jalen. All right.
No, man, we're getting the scoop here. We're gonna.
No. I mean, nothing against you guys. Your guys' MOC is like honestly amazing. And when I heard you guys were making something, and when I started seeing what you guys were doing, I was so happy to see that you guys are taking we're doing the same thing, but you're taking such a different approach at it than I thought to do. And I just love seeing that's a different way of doing things like that. That's the best part of your guys' MOC is seeing the other possibilities and showing the fans that too. So I really enjoy that.
Right. Exactly. I feel it's especially in this community, very important to show people that, I mean, we've had this discussion on our channel. You gave a very thoughtful comment on it as well. But like, all MOCs are not made the same. Like, there are very different things that can go into the same like subject matter. So it's all about interpretation, and we should certainly encourage people, giving their own spin or their own impression on something.
Definitely, 100% agree there. And also to address, I can't believe it was a controversy that people were like, it was like a couple months ago, I think, that people were saying like certain people were like stealing ideas from either yours or my MOC or something like that. And you had to address it in one of your, like, I think your Q&A videos, right?
Yeah, it's like the salt technique, and it's just like,
yeah, okay, so it's that, yeah.
We do not have patents on Lego techniques.
I know, like, I don't care if anybody uses my techniques. Like, that was the point of like why I make these series, is to show people this is like how you build at a larger scale, use the techniques and learn from it.
Exactly.
So I don't know, but I can't believe that was a giant controversy, and it was a little sad to see that people were getting all hung up over it. I don't know.
The internet is a scary place.
It's a very scary place. When I first started my YouTube channel, oh god, almost 10 years ago. Then this first,
you're young too.
Yeah, man. During those like first 3 to 4 years, there was definitely a lot of what I would call YouTube drama.
Oh yeah.
Where you have like, I don't know, you have people, you're gonna have haters, especially at the beginning. Especially if you're new to things, you're gonna have people being like, "Oh, that's not how you do it," or whatever,
right.
On all kinds of different things. And then once you get bigger, it seems like they kind of disappear. As long as your content continues to get better, then they kind of disappear because you have more fans supporting you rather than hating you at that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like everybody kind of goes through that phase where they have to understand, like, there's this good and bad on the internet.
Exactly.
But especially when you're doing YouTube videos. But yeah.
All right, so we got a Star Wars movie around the corner. Does it feel to you like there's a freaking Star Wars movie next week, or how's the hype feeling for you?
I'm extremely excited to see Solo.
Okay.
Extremely. I can't wait to see it, but it is different. It's not like how the other movies have been. I really wish they had released Solo in December of this year rather than the next week in May.
Yes.
Like, I've just gotten used to the December timeline, and it honestly works in my opinion. Like, I've like loved the fact that all the movies, I guess, what is it, Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Last Jedi, they like the timing just seems so right for Christmas. I don't know, it's worked out so well because like
yes, like, Star Wars has become synonymous with the Christmas time. It's great.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I enjoy it. And I feel like the summer movie season, we just had Infinity War, and I just saw Deadpool 2 the other day, and just, I have all these like movies one after the other, and it's just like when it comes to December time, you don't have as much like blockbusters next to it.
Right, yeah. Solo just seems to kind of be in the middle of all these other big movie releases.
Yeah, so it tends to get compared quite a bit more to it.
Yeah, and I think because I've always seen that a new Star Wars movie is like an event. It's not just another big movie coming out. It's like everyone wants to go see it, and it's like the hype around it is so massive that it's just like no other movies around the time can compare. Whereas with Solo now, like you mentioned, Deadpool 2, Infinity War, and all these other summer blockbusters, it just feels like another piece of the blockbuster slate over the summer.
Yeah.
Whereas when they were doing the Christmas ones, they felt like such events, I feel like the solo movie's kind of lacking that.
Hey,
but we are excited.
So like, how many people are watching the stream? I want to give you guys more views if possible.
Let's see. I can't even, hold on. We got 15 people right now?
15. All right. Let me give you
Saturdays. Our streams on Saturdays never have as many viewers as they do during the week.
People are out enjoying their families, I presume.
Who needs that?
I don't know. From my years of YouTube uploads, I always tend to have better success on the weekends than the weekdays because usually kids are in school during the weekdays.
That's what I would assume, but like it's just in our experience, it's always Saturdays seem to be a little slower.
Yeah, like the most people I've ever had on a stream I was streaming and building part of my ATM6, and I started. It was like a Wednesday, like the middle of the day, like at probably like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and I got like 100 people on, and that has never happened again since then.
All right, so I'm gonna start sharing, if you guys don't mind.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna share it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
I'm sure we'll get some interesting people in the chat.
Oh, David, did you see the Imperial Hauler set?
The Hauler? What do you mean?
It's a new set coming out, I guess. Did we see it for the first time today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Imperial Hauler. And
I can show you a bad picture through my phone through your camera.
It looks really goofy.
It looks, honestly, I didn't even believe.
I did not think it was an actual Lego set when I saw it. Which is usually not a good sign.
This is it.
Is it on the Discord, the Lego Leaks Discord?
Are you a part of that? Here, this is what it looks like. You can kind of see it.
So for some reason, I can't see you guys stream, but I can see my little thing. But hold on.
Oh, hold on. Well.
No, go ahead.
What's the easiest way to find it? I don't know. It might be on the Discord. It's been making the rounds today.
Okay, I'll look at it in just a second. I'm just getting these.
But yeah, it looks super goofy. I don't know what to think about it. I assume it's from Solo, but
sorry, I'm being a little quiet.
It's all good.
Yeah, we've both been building like nonstop last few days. We had like a super late night stream like
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Still recovering from that.
Yeah. We're both tired and we've been slowing off our game on the streams recently, but hopefully everyone's bearing with us. And I'm sure you're tired too. You know, I've been working on fractals for hours.
Oh yeah. I mean, I need to work more. I need to get your guys' level.
Tell Javier to come over and start helping you out.
So, fun fact about Javier: he's been gone for over a year.
Like gone where?
He's in Orlando.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it breaks my heart. The guy. So I'll explain in just a second, but he is like. He's something. He's definitely who I would definitely consider like my very best friend for sure. Like me and him are just ridiculous together. Anybody could tell you that. But yeah, it broke my heart when he had to go down to Orlando. So he's going to a college over there called Full Sail University. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I know exactly what it is. Yeah.
But he's doing a film degree there, and the way it works is it's a 2-year degree for a bachelor's, so it's year-round and you don't get any breaks. You get maybe a 1 week winter break and a 1 week summer break, and that's it.
Jeez.
So I don't really hear from him much. Thankfully, he does visit like every 5 months. So last time I saw him was November, and I made a video with him then too. I think that was the Falcon video, or no, that was back in September, something like that.
Would that have been the preparing for Last Jedi video then?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. See, you know my videos better than I do. losing track.
Preparing for videos.
Oh yeah. I wanted to do one for Solo, but it was like the biggest fail ever. Like we got together to go to a Walmart. They had no new sets out. Obviously, Toys R Us really isn't a thing anymore. So
don't even make me cry about Toys R Us. It hurts to even think about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, has Toys R Us always been your place to get Lego?
Yep. Toys R Us, definitely. I mean, what sucks is sometimes I would return a lot of sets that like there would be times where I'd have to return stuff last year. So it kind of breaks my heart because I feel like I was part of the reason why Toys R Us went bankrupt a little bit.
Okay.
Earn maybe $400, $500 worth of Lego sets because either A, Lego's having a promotional thing on their website where I can get a lot of VIP points, or B, Walmart has the prices cheaper, which kind of changed last year because I think Toys R Us started doing price matching, so that wasn't much of a big deal.
Right.
So I don't know. It kind of hurts knowing that I don't know. I feel bad for returning stuff to Toys R Us is all. But yeah, it breaks my heart that they're, I guess they're pretty much almost gone. I think most of the stores are starting to close now. I think they're all that.
Yeah, I haven't driven by my local one yet to see
I've been wanting to go to one and like make a video about it and say goodbye. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
So how about this? We can all, since we were talking about Toys R Us, we can share our most fond Toys R Us memories. Do any come to mind for you, David?
Oh man, too many. There's definitely two that probably stand out the most. So I have a very good memory for some reason of my childhood. I don't know why, but it's like extremely detailed. But I can remember all the way back to 2008 when the day that it was me, my mom, and my brother. We were dropping my brother off. He plays tennis, and we were dropping off at some, one of those clubs or whatever. And I was like, hey, Mom, since we're waiting on my brother to, do his thing with tennis, let's go over to Toys R Us. And she's like, okay. And she takes me to Toys R Us, and I walk in, and I always know where the Lego section is, and the fastest way to get to it, too.
Oh, yeah.
So I walk in, I immediately go over, and I see what is the January 2009 wave. So that's the Clone Battle Packs, that's the Blue AAT, that's the Republic Shuttle. All of those sets were on the shelves, and I dropped, I was like, oh my God. And it was at least I think it was the first week of December. So they were out extremely early, and nobody on YouTube had been talking about it. So that had been a big deal. I was like, oh my God. I was telling my mom, I was like, Mom, I just want you to understand how important it is right now.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's those moments in the toy store. You don't get what I'm holding right now. This is so valuable.
Yeah, it really was, honestly, because I convinced my mom to let me buy 3 of the 7 sets that were on the shelves that day, and I went and did reviews on all of them. I think it was the Battle Pack and the AAT and some other set. And I had been making reviews on my YouTube channel and very, very terrible stop motions. But that was the moment where I went from 100 subscribers to 1,000 in a week.
Wow.
Okay. And that was a very big deal. And it was all because of that trip to Toys R Us for me. And so things like that have the Toys R Us trips have literally made my channel become popular. So again, Toys R Us is very tied.
Preparing for the movie videos are probably some of your most successful ones, aren't they?
Oh, the preparing videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, so some good behind the scenes things about the first one. So that entire first thing was just hey Javier, let's try this and see what happens.
Okay.
There was when we made it, we had no intention of it being viral or popular in any type of way. We figured it might get 5,000 views max because it was so stupid. We thought it was stupid. When we had recorded the footage 2 weeks before it was actually published. We published it on the day The Force Awakens came out. And we edited it the day before, and we were going through. There is actually so much undiscovered footage of the original that I should post. There's the original, all the footage combined is 45 minutes, and we pushed it down to 8 minutes.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of undiscovered footage for that video. And we just worked on the editing for I don't know, 4 hours. We made sure it was it worked. And Javier was definitely the person that helped me figure out, okay, these are the moments to cut. This is a comedic relief moment, blah, blah, blah. So if it wasn't for him, that video I don't think would have turned out as well as it did. So I really owe Javier quite a bit, actually.
Right.
But yeah, so that video was some. What about you guys? Going back to the Toys R Us thing, what was one of your fondest? I guess Jay and Garrett, both of you, if you want to go one after the other, what was your probably fondest memory?
I have 2 that come to mind. The first one is actually, I guess, the first time, like my first exposure to me really falling in love with Star Wars. So the way I kind of got into Lego Star Wars was actually through the game. I was in the 4th grade, and this would have been like 2004. And one of my friends got the game, and he was playing it a lot. And every day at school, all I'd hear about is, oh, you know, I did this in Lego Star Wars, and I unlocked this person. And I wasn't really even a Star Wars fan at that point. I was just like, you know, I guess I've heard of Star Wars before. Right. So then he told me enough about the game, and then eventually I was like, okay, let me see if I can get this game and play it and see what I think about it. I ended up getting it, and that's kind of where I guess the point of this is I went to Toys R Us, and that's actually when I got Lego Star Wars. And then at that point, I actually started getting sets, and then like episode 3 came out right after that, which I guess I didn't really need to see because like the entire plot of episode 3 is actually in the Lego Star Wars video game. But then fast forward actually 3 years. So I don't know if you remember this, but whenever the Clone Wars movie was coming out, they did a Midnight Madness at Toys R Us for all the new sets.
Yes. Good time.
So my it was actually like around my birthday. It was sometime in July, and my birthday's in July as well. Mm-hmm. So my grandma took me to Toys R Us at midnight. I remember I actually I brought a video camera with me because I wanted to record it, but I'm sure that camera is long gone by now. Oh. But I ended up getting 2 of the Republic gunships that came out because that was like my favorite ship. I got the ATTE, and I think I got the Spider Droid that came out for that wave. And I was just so excited to finally have a Lego Republic gunship. And Lego having, I guess, not released one since 2002.
Right.
So that was my life until that point.
What about you, Garrett?
So as a kid, I never went to Toys R Us very much. I think like all of my Lego I bought when I was a kid was always at Target because there was one like less than a 5-minute drive from my grandparents. Because when I lived with my grandparents when I was little, and they lived in an area that there's not a whole lot around it.
Right.
It was kind of isolated, but there was a Target not too far away, so I would always go there to buy my Lego sets. But with Toys R Us, there was it was generally if I went up to Dallas, where I have family in Dallas, and if I went up there, my grandma up there would take me to Toys R Us to buy a Bionicle. This was when Bionicles were all the rage, and so that was always a fun trip going up there because she'd always buy me at least one Bionicle to play with, and she wanted me to keep them at her house there. She's like, no, so when you visit me, you have a Bionicle to play with. And I'm like, but how am I going to have it as part of my collection if it's up here? That was always fun, but I think my actual fondest Toys R Us memory was actually one fairly recently. It's probably like 3 years ago. So as an adult, but I basically went with my little brother who's my favorite Toys R Us memory is as an adult, but because I never went as a kid. This was my moment.
My joke is that we're all basically kids on the inside.
Yeah. Well, that's true. We put on a front sometimes, but I went with my little brother and his friend, who's actually more into Lego. My brother doesn't care about it, but I went with him and my little brother and his friend. And then my sister was at home, so I bought her a set too. And I think the Jurassic World stuff may have been out, and she wanted the like Jeep from that. So I bought that, and then we took it all home, and it was just like all 4 of us all just like hanging out and building Lego sets, and it was like. It was kind of a callback to being a kid again. So I always think about that memory.
Sitting around building Lego.
Yeah, the fun fact is the first time I bought a Lego Star Wars set, my very first one, was I think it was 2006. It was the first playable Imperial Star Destroyer, and I bought that at Target.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Actually, I had that one. Yep. So what was it that got you into Star Wars then? If you started, I guess, collecting Lego Star Wars.
So, it was probably like the end of 2007, beginning of 2008. Like, I had bought Lego Star Wars sets, but I still hadn't watched. Well, I think I had just started. Once I had bought the Lego Star Wars sets in like 06 or 07, I had just started watching the movies then.
Okay.
But into like really delving into Lego Star Wars was the moment when one of my friends in middle school showed me YouTube and for the very first time. And And the first videos he showed me were actually Lego Batman animations by Force Fire. And
oh wow, that's crazy.
yeah, no, and I fell in love with them, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And they were funny, and they were really crude, but me and him like joked about them all the time. And every time I went over there, we'd watch YouTube, but then I was just like, you know what, I want to watch this by myself. And so I started logging into YouTube on my parents' computer, and then you know, what was the old version of recommended videos? What popped up was the 501st Pizza movies, stop motion films,
Okay.
and those really just like I watched every single one of those probably at least 30 times each.
Wow. Jeez.
And I fell in love with them, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I would also watch reviews on sets, and right around that point was when the Clone Wars Midnight Madness was happening. And so I convinced that same friend who showed me YouTube, me and him went to the Midnight Madness together. And that night after, he spent the night at my house. That night after, when he left, literally the morning of, I remember it so clearly. That is when I made my very first YouTube video, which is the ATTE review, which is like buried all the way down to my YouTube channel. It's still there, and people still make good jokes about it. And like I have like the dorkiest little kid voice possible, and like every Clone Wars character name possible as well. It was bad, but I was enjoying myself, and I still like to look back at that video and think of like how happy I was, just the fact I was making a video and how happy I was with Legos and stuff like that.
Right.
So I always go back to moments like that really like gave me inspiration and stuff like that. But I've always been into Lego, like ever since I was probably like 6 years old, ever since I can remember, honestly. But I wasn't into Lego Star Wars until a couple, like 5 or 6 years after, because what I was originally a big fan of was Lego City and Lego Technic. Those are the two big things I loved more than Lego Star Wars for the longest time, actually.
Yeah, I think I feel like most kids have Lego when they were younger, and I was actually a pretty big Lego fan when I was little. I used to primarily get probably City, and I'm trying to think if I had anything from like a license or something. I mostly just remember having City stuff and a lot of hand-me-down stuff. A lot of my collection initially came from older cousins and stuff like that who had, I guess, grown old and decided they didn't want to build anymore.
Right.
But I think that is really cool, though, how like your exposure to Lego Star Wars, and I guess Star Wars as well, kind of was sparked from YouTube, and I feel like that's so fitting considering like where you are now.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, that's kind of like a short story about my early life when it comes to YouTube, I suppose. But yeah,
Here we go. That's why we have people on the streams. We just grill them about their life and about Star Wars and Lego.
Yeah, we're getting deep on the stream, guys.
That's good, bro. This is just a couple Lego nerds just reminiscing.
Yeah.
So when you
gotta make a collab.
A collab?
Yeah.
You gotta move to Texas, bro.
What's that?
You gotta move to Texas. It's only like 98 degrees here right now. It's really comfortable.
It's actually 91 in Virginia and much more humid, probably. We have a lot of like water and air at the moment because it's been raining here for like 5 days straight.
Jeez. Okay, so then let's do some. If we did a collab, what would we build?
I don't know. Like, it can't be something obviously big. It would have to be something we could do in like a day or two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we could make like a much better throne room than the Lego set that was just shown.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I take it
that's a pretty. I think that's a day. What's that?
I take it you're not too keen on the Snoke throne room set?
Oh no, I mean it looks good. It just looks like, you know, the Palpatine. What is that set called? The Palpatine something.
That's our final. Or are you talking about the episode 3 one?
The episode 3 one. That was the first one that they did.
That was.
What was that called? Forget what it was called.
Was that called like Palpatine Arrest?
Yeah, Palpatine's Arrest.
There you go. Yeah, so that was like the first fight scene set, and then we got the Emperor's throne room, and now we have Snoke's throne room. They all look the same, honestly, in terms of like the layout.
They're all very similar.
Yeah.
We've been like speculating on, I think the next one would be a good one for them to do would be the beginning of episode 3, the Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Count Dooku. Like they could play out of that benefit.
I'd love to get like a special piece of like lightning handcuffs for the Emperor. For when he's sitting in the chair there in that scene. I think that would be so awesome.
Oh yeah, I forget it. Is it like a laser over his hand, or is it like a physical?
Yeah, it's like
I think it's like lightning or something like that around his wrist. If I remember
that would be cool. Yeah. I'm honestly surprised Lego hasn't done that set yet. I guess there still isn't even like an episode 3 set with Dooku in it.
Yeah, could easily have 5 minifigures: Anakin, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, and then 2 super battle droids.
Exactly. Obi-Wan will be laying down under a balcony.
That would be one of the features. Drop it on Obi-Wan.
That would be the play feature. Yeah, crush Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, that would be.
There was a kid watching that and being like, "How is he walking? How is he not disabled by this point? Like, how are his legs able to survive that?"
He's a Jedi, man. They live forever, right?
Like,
oh,
a bad joke.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Qui-Gon. But yeah.
Yeah, they're saying in the chat the collab that we should just do is you need to just fly. We'll just fly Crait, so we'll meet halfway, and we'll just place them next to each other.
Oh my god!
We'll invent a new canon for Crait that there was 2 bases there actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. That would make total sense.
It's about making it big, not make sense.
I'm gonna get on the Discord and see what that hauler set you were talking about earlier is.
Oh yeah, check that out. We can discuss it.
Let's see what's going on in the chat. I'm sorry guys if you've been asking questions in the chat. We've been a bunch of old men just talking about the good times.
Broken Monday.
But I do have some work to show because I pretty much
you've reached an end point.
I've reached a point where I can no longer keep adding on to the mountains.
So. Oh, you literally have like every slope.
Everything is at the very edge.
Wow.
So what we'll probably do is if we have cheese slopes, so we can like just put them on the edge there, so that it'll slide right into the thing. So let's get this up here and see what it looks like.
Trying to find it. What does it look like?
I couldn't even describe it to you, honestly.
Do you think you could Instagram me the link to the picture?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you a picture of it, actually.
Awesome. Because for some reason I don't think this is it. Here, I'll show it to you. Like this does not look like it's. This is it.
That is it.
That's it.
See? What? This looks photoshopped.
Yeah, like it doesn't even look like a Lego set.
What is this? What is it even based off of?
What people are saying is it's probably from Solo, but I mean I have no idea.
I hope I didn't get you guys a content ID or anything like that for putting the picture on the thing. I don't think it's gonna flag it, or you'll get flagged.
That'll be fine. It's an official picture.
You guys are good. I can make a request in the Legos marketing team to like be like, hey, you shouldn't have done that or whatever.
There you go.
Well, we got friends in high places
there
now.
There you go. No, I mean I know a couple of people in Lego, but I'm not like very close with the company. They're very private.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys know. I mean, both of you.
I can't even show this.
Are one of you like an assistant manager at the store, or like what are your positions at the Lego stores exactly?
Oh, we're just brick specialists. We're lowly.
No manager promotion for like how amazing you build and stuff. Like that doesn't make sense.
I don't care about that.
They really don't.
Damn, it's all about customer service, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're the only like. At our store, we're the only guys that are into like MOCs and the greater Lego community. Like, there's other people that work there that are into sets and buy sets, but
yeah, I mean, that's what I tend to find in like others. In my stores, they're located in Northern Virginia, which is like literally right under Washington D.C.
Right.
The one I go to is a Lego store called Tyson's Corner, and the guy, I think the manager / assistant manager there, he's like big into like YouTube and all that. And he's literally, every time I come in, he's like, yo man, what's up? What can I help you with? And I'm like, filler brick or whatever. And he's like the biggest help. He like literally helps me find anything in the back on like pick a brick stuff.
That's awesome.
that's nice that I have someone there, but it just sucks because like that particular store is 2.5 hours away, and then there's another one that's a tad closer that's 2 hours away. But it's still a long drive to go up there, which, you know, it's not the greatest. I've been like begging Lego for like 10 years to build one closer to me, but they still haven't.
We'll see if we can expedite the request.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we'll pass it along.
We'll pass. Yeah, they really care what we have to say.
It doesn't even make sense too, because we have like an Apple store. I feel like wherever an Apple store is, there's a Lego store.
There definitely is.
Lego store is very selective.
No,
there's so weird. I mean, there's 3 in the Houston area. We have 3 of them, like located within an hour of us.
True.
But then, like, the annoying thing is, whenever they first put one here in Houston, it was basically in the middle of nowhere. Like, they picked like the most obscure place to put a Lego store, and the most recent one is the one like closest to the middle of Houston that most people go to.
I got you. So I was thinking about this earlier before I got on the group chat here, but like, do you guys, I know you guys get a discount obviously for working at the store, but like, do they let you get a discount on the Ultimate Collector's Falcon, or is that a big no-no?
So when it comes to things like that, it's generally like big exclusives. When they first come out, employees are not allowed to purchase them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so for the Falcon, we weren't allowed to buy it until like actually fairly recently. So even if we wanted to try to qualify for the black card, we could we asked, like, not that either of us would have bought it, but in theory it'd be like,
I would have bought it.
We can forego the employee discount to buy it to get the black card, but even then we were not allowed to, so we had no way to get that fancy card.
Yeah, but now we are allowed to get it half off.
Oh, it's half off for you guys?
Yeah. That's the thing about the Falcon. I don't know if you've seen, but I built my own custom Falcon.
Yeah,
and I built it like right before they announced the UCS one. Like, I finished it up, made a video on it and everything, and then I think like a few weeks later they announced the UCS one. And I was like, I mean, this is great. You know, it's clearly a historic Lego set, but I feel I didn't get to enjoy it as much as most people since I like just spent a lot of money building one. Mm-hmm. So I'm still waiting on one, you know, big UCS that I can really get hyped for.
Gotcha. So another question that's been in my head is like, where are you guys building at? Is that like one of your parents' house or something, or is that your apartment or something?
This is my mom's house. We are in the game room.
Okay. She's very, very, a very kind woman.
Oh yeah.
How's this space?
Yeah.
I understand that. The last Lego room I was in, the bigger one that like had the shelves going all the way back. The one I built Kashyyyk in, that was my mom's house as well, and that was a rec room that she basically just gave to me, and couldn't thank her enough. That was pretty cool building Kashyyyk, but yeah.
There you go.
So I see where you're coming from. So I guess like, have you had any pity at your like Lego stores be like recognize you from your YouTube channel yet? Are you guys like? I feel like you're big enough so that would happen.
I don't think you were there. So you've had one person come in and recognize you.
One person has recognized me.
I've had
shout out to DP Studios.
Yeah, that was DP Studios. Yeah. I've had one person come in. He was like, "Oh, I'm visiting from out of town, but like I watch your YouTube channel." I was like, "Oh, okay, nice to meet you." And then I had one person recognize me in Toys R Us, which is probably the most surprising one because I wasn't expecting it. It was basically for like it was, I guess, what was it called? Force Friday last year, which unfortunately was basically like the week we got a terrible hurricane. Okay. So the geek that I am, went to Target looking to see if we'd have any of the new sets or I was actually looking for Black Series figures, and I was in the aisle, and so it's like, "Rich Boy Jay." I'm like, "What?" And he like told me his username. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's cool. Nice. Was it like after that? Did you feel like, am I this popular now or something like that? Did like something click in your head? Be like, oh my god, this is like a real thing or anything like that?
I think kind of, yeah. I think the one that really got to me was when I was at actually Legoland Star Wars Days, and I wasn't even like really active on YouTube at this time, but I was like active in Facebook groups, and I posted a lot of pictures of stuff I made. And this guy showed up, and he's like, "Oh, you know, if you remember me, like I'm in the groups," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I remember your face." And like he asked for like a picture with me, and like he introduced me to his family, and like he was a very nice guy, and I was just like, wow, like this is real, you know.
Was he like a kid or a teenager?
No, it was like he's like 35 years old.
He's pretty active in a lot of the bigger like AFOL Facebook groups. Like that's how like we knew who he was. But
yeah, no. When I went to Star Wars Celebration last year down in Orlando.
Yeah.
When I went there, I wasn't expecting people to recognize me because like I'm well known in the Lego community, not really well known as, at least I thought I wasn't really well known in the Star Wars community, but I was very wrong when I went there. Like when I'd have to stand in lines. That's just how I don't get any special treatment when I go to like conventions or anything. So I have to stand in line like everybody else for like big panels and stuff like that.
Right.
And like when I was in line, like just randomly, this guy was like, "Hey David," like he was standing back behind me for like an hour before he said it to me. But he's like, "Hey David, I just want to let you know I'm like a big fan of your videos. Like Kashyyyk is literally one of the coolest things I've seen. Blah 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 blah." And we were talking a little bit. I'm just like thinking like, "Oh my god!" And this guy was like in his 40s, and I was just like, "Wow!" Like I didn't realize like the hardcore older Star Wars fans actually watch my videos.
Right.
And that had happened like 3 times when I was at the convention, where someone who was like at least above 30 would recognize me and tell me that they watch my videos. And that's totally cool. I just didn't realize I had a fan base there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit.
I say what you need to do is talk to like Lego and tell them to let you set up and display a MOC there. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Well, the thing is Lego had a presence at Celebration. They had actually all these, I think it was the local lug of Orlando was there actually. And they had given that lug like a budget, like, all right, here's the money. Here's the, I forget what it's called. It's like the leg bulk program or whatever, where you order all that Lego and stuff. And they're like, do what you want. And they try to make every type of scene from Star Wars around this giant, like they had so many base plates, Jay. Like it was crazy. There had to be at least like 200 gray base plates.
Of just MOCs, or like what were they doing with them?
Like I don't know. It wasn't the greatest thing I had ever seen. It wasn't like Legoland quality or anything like that. But I mean, it was good. Like some parts, like you could see that like one person worked on a certain section. Like nothing connected really well together.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There was definitely like technique differences. Some people had really good stuff. Some people didn't really have good stuff.
Right.
Like it was all over the place. I guess they kind of just like was like to the lug group, like, all right, everybody who wants to be in this, build something and let's get this. Because they give them a space, I think is how it works. They give them this big space and they say you have to cover this space. And then they give you the money and then all the Lego and stuff you need. So I think that's how it works. Oh my God! What the heck? That thing is huge.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
This is about 4 days or so of work just
here. I think it's officially like either as tall or taller than the walker, so you can see.
Bruh, are you finishing? Is that the top right there? Or are you going further?
This is basically because we're
not as far as I can go with it. Like I think there's gonna be a section that pulls up behind it. And that'll kind of continue up. It won't go much higher. It'll probably go, up to here-ish or so. But this is just with the way the slant worked. This is about as tall as this part can get.
Jeez. Oh my God.
This is where the Lego discount comes in handy for parts like these bad boys.
Good God. What were you showing? The slope piece? I couldn't see.
Yeah, the dark gray slope.
Yeah, I remember those. Too many of those used in Kashyyyk.
There's a lot of those.
I have been debating for like 2 months now. I have Kashyyyk. It sits in my garage, and I've just been debating whether I want to destroy it or not for Crait, because I don't know if I need the parts or not. Like I kind of do, kind of don't. Like I haven't fully decided what I want to do for the colors of the mountains. Like so far I have like red and dark red and gray, but I'm not sure if I want to expand the colors like you guys did on yours. I'm still debating, but
is there any like filler brick in Kashyyyk? If there is so
much filler brick in Kashyyyk, and I'm not going to say names, but I went to a local Lego seller, and they were trying to convince me to use Mega Blocks on the inside of it.
Wow.
Because Mega Blocks wouldn't be seen. They were like, "Hey man, you're making this giant MOC. You use these Mega Blocks, they'll never be seen." I'm like, "No, like I'm using all Lego. It is a Lego MOC. You are not."
Thank you. I have a newfound respect. I'm glad that you put your foot down because I've heard similar suggestions before too.
Yeah.
I feel
like no, like you got to stay true to it.
Yeah, like the thing about that is like if that's the case, then you may as well just like not have any filler and just have like a box or something inside to hold everything up.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. No, my thoughts exactly. But yeah, I was very annoyed when someone had suggested that to me, and I was just like, really, I really just rolled my eyes right then and there.
Have you ever gotten accused of using Mega Blocks?
No, I don't. I like fan conventions. I don't think I've ever been accused of that.
I guess I meant like on YouTube. Like I mean, I'm sure you know some of the more interesting comments that people will post. But I actually recently had someone comment on my ATM6 video, like, "Oh, this is all fake Lego," and I'm just like, okay.
What? I don't know how you design that in LDD without your computer crashing or the program crashing at least.
Yeah, and so it wasn't all in one file. It's multiple files. The body is the biggest one. I think the body was probably about 9,000 parts, and like after a while, it gets very slow. But it was pretty good. If I try to like put everything in one file, it starts kind of glitching out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a lot of time and perseverance. I did have a few times where the program crashed on me while I was designing it, and I had to like redesign pretty big parts of it, but it wasn't too bad, thankfully.
Good God, your mountain is like beautiful. I love what you've done there. Like it's perfectly like the colors are perfectly spaced, and it doesn't look stupid random either. That's what I call it. It looks so good. Like I love it.
Solid Brix Studios is complementing something that I've worked on. Like I never thought like joining into the YouTube thing with Jalen that would be something that occurs. So thank you.
That looks good. Like honestly a tad jealous, not gonna lie. But it looks great. Did a great job, Garrett.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So here's a question. You don't have to say what it is, but do you have any idea of what you want to build next? Or are you gonna wait for like more movies to come out?
It's probably not. I can tell you right now, I'm probably not going to build something from Solo.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be our impression too.
You know, everybody's been saying for years after I built Kashyyyk that I should build Kamino, and the problem with Kamino is, if I would ever build Kamino, I would want to build it like actually on like stilts, and like the amount of Lego and Technic work that you'd have to do just to support the entire base would be insane.
Right.
The money would get very high very quick. So I like to do Kamino eventually, but it would cost so much money that I don't think that would be my next MOC. Because of the way I want to build it, at least.
Yeah, the minifigs would be a big problem too for the Kaminoans.
The clone troopers, you mean?
No, the Kaminoan, like the aliens.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They still haven't made that. What the heck? God, I didn't think about that. Jeez.
We're still waiting. Maybe one day.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna talk. I don't the Lego designers sometimes go to the conventions?
Yeah, they do actually.
I'm gonna have a good talk with the next designer I meet and be like, "Yo, man, you talk to that graphic designer or whoever sculpts the stuff in Maya or whatever, and you tell them that we need to make a Kaminoan. How do you say that name?
Kaminoan.
Is that their actual race? That's just what I've always called them.
They're called Kaminoans.
Okay. What's the main girl? What's her name?
The main girl is, I think, Llama Sue. And
Llama Sue. Yeah, you got to talk to the Lego designers. Be like, why is my girl Llama Sue not being properly?
You're like, what?
Did you just make that up?
Yeah, exactly. But actually, I don't think that would be as big of a problem because I think I've seen really good like custom molds of Kaminoans.
Okay.
So I think you guys know I'm a big fan of custom figures.
So here's a question for you. Speaking of Lego,
speaking of what we were doing,
speaking of our lives, Lego. Yeah. For the A-Full spotlight video they did with you, I was just wondering like how that kind of came to be. Like, did they reach out to you?
Oh, you talking about on the Lego channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something last year. I was not expecting that. That was just literally out of thin air. It just happened. I got an email saying, "Hey, David, we're interested in doing this project," and they didn't tell me what it was at first. They were like, "We're just interested in doing something with you. Could you get on a phone call with us? Sometime this week?" And I'm like, yeah, of course I can. And at that time, actually, I was flying out to LA. Because I had planned earlier in the summer that I was going to visit Forest Fire 101 for the first time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I went out there and spent 10 days with Forrest. And by the way, Forrest is literally one of the coolest guys on YouTube I have ever met in my life. He is like, I can't say enough good things about that guy. Like, I know his humor is pretty crude and all that in his videos, but he is like one of the smartest, brilliant guys I've ever met. Like, dude is something else. Like, the 10 days I was with him or something like that, like, he was just throwing ideas out. And I'm like, oh my God, these are all like brilliant. Like, he had so many good ideas for like Lego stuff, like Lego animations, and like his style of thinking, like just his general personality is just fun to be around, and you feel almost inspired around him.
Right.
Like how he goes about things. Like, you're like, oh my God, like I need to be on this guy's level.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I was out. Go ahead.
I said it's like meeting your childhood hero.
Yeah, no, it literally was like, because he was like part of the reason why I even started my YouTube channel. So it was something being out there. I was geeking out like every day. Like, dude was awesome. But anyhow, yeah, I was out there when I actually got on the phone call. I remember it. I was out on his patio and I was on the phone call with Lego. They were telling me, "Hey, we're wanting to." You know what's really funny is, I think I can say this. I hope they're not going to get mad at me for saying this. But when I got on the phone call, they basically, Garrett, you might know this. I don't think Jay, you probably don't know this, but they compared what they were trying to do to a Halo commercial, like a legitimate like Halo commercial. And I was just like, it was just so funny because Halo's owned by Mega Bloks, and I can't believe it. And the guy I was on the phone with was the director of marketing for Lego Star Wars. And I was literally freaking out. I was like, oh my God,
That's crazy.
what the heck is going on right now? So that was a crazy call. But yeah, he was basically telling me that we're trying to do like this thing with your MOC that, and the first they were talking about was, I think it was called it was the Believe commercial from Halo 3. It came all the way back out in like 2007, 2008. It was like a bunch of like figures and the way it was like a slow-mo camera through all of it with like all these like kind of made explosions. They said they wanted to do that with Lego, and I was just like, hell yeah. Like the second they said that commercial, I was like, oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I'm a giant Halo fan.
Right.
So that's what their proposal was, and I was just like, yes, yes, and yes. But I wasn't so that actually wasn't just like it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I would love to do it. I'd love to have the job or whatever. I was not. They were looking at other people. It wasn't just like me in contention. It wasn't just like, all right, we're just definitely doing David. They like submit things. I had to like do an actual proposal and all of that for them, and be like, I think all of I have to offer, blah blah blah, is beneficial to your guys' audience and all of that, and I'm already well, all this stuff, and ultimately they favored with what I had to say. And so a couple of weeks later, I got to go up to Connecticut. I didn't go to the headquarters. It was actually filmed outside of the headquarters at a third-party studio, and they had me rebuild my Scarif MOC there, and we filmed it all. I was there during the entire filming process. It felt like being on set. If you guys have ever seen the behind the scenes for like those Lego City commercials, very similar like feeling.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With how they like do those commercials, it was very similar. Yep. Very professional, and all of that. It wasn't like a joke or anything at all. Like, we were all being very serious, and the team who was filming it was just an awesome time. Like, we went out to dinner that night, and it was such a great time with all of them. And then once we filmed it in August, and I think they released it in like November. And when it finally came out, I was just like blown away with the quality, and it was just so tremendous. And What sucks is I have permission to upload. I actually filmed behind the scenes of that, and I still haven't uploaded it. I got permission too. It's just I haven't gotten around to showing it on the YouTube channel. But I do have behind the scenes stuff for that video. But yeah, it was an amazing process. But I wasn't the first pick, as some people might think otherwise. Like, why didn't this person get picked? I can tell you for certain that like it wasn't just me that they were thinking about doing that video with. But what's interesting is I don't think I guess I really can't say much more than that. I can't. They were saying some other things that I can't talk about, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll leave it at that. Can't talk about all of that.
Okay, here's my question. I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'm gonna ask it to you. How did you get away with putting those aftermarket guns in the video?
Oh my God, that was a funny thing. Oh my God. I was having a direct email conversation with I think it was the director of marketing for Lego Star Wars, him, and then another person at Lego, and then somebody who works at the studio they were working with for filming, and all of us were like in communication. I was like, hey, I know Lego doesn't necessarily care about brick arms. They don't like obviously go after them legally or anything, but they don't advertise that either. Do I have to switch all the weapons out to Lego guns or any of that? Or is that going to be an issue? And that was an internal topic. I don't know exactly what the discussion was, but they brought it up with the team, the marketing team and all that. And I think some higher ups as well. And basically they came to the conclusion that because it was a fan MOC and that they were advertising as a fan MOC, that it was okay to use fan creations like brick arms.
Nice.
So that was the conclusion on that. And I was not expecting that answer. I had all the weapons and Bricklink on the checkout. I was just ready to hit it. Because I was like, there's no way they're gonna say yes to it. Like I had zero expectation on them saying yes, because it's Lego. They're very conservative about their image and stuff like that with the fan community and obviously the focus is always kids first, as you guys probably know, working for Lego stores.
Right.
So you know how all that goes, but so I was not expecting that, and it was. I'm actually really good friends with Will Chapman, the guy who makes brick arms. He's the owner of it, and I had emailed him. I was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have a real good surprise for you in the coming weeks."
Nice.
Free ads, bro.
He was blown away too that had happened. That was the first official like Lego thing where they had shown brick arms with it so it was kind of like a big deal for him as well.
Right.
So
we
that
were
was
shocked
pretty fun. But good times. Yeah, and I couldn't believe. I mean, I thought the video would be popular, but I think it's at it's closing in on 1 million views, and I was just like, what?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was an awesome opportunity. It was some really awesome recognition. I don't want to say up until that point, I've never really worked with Lego. And so it always disappointed me because I felt like I was advertising so much for them over 10-year span.
Right.
So when that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, it felt like a breather for me that Lego had I always felt like Lego was ignoring me. Like they didn't care about me and they didn't care about the YouTube community. But when that happened, that was the big saying, oh my God, yes, this is a real community. This is all these people on YouTube. This is a real thing. That was a big thing for me. And it really helped my morale with me wanting to continue on YouTube and all of that.
Right.
So it was really something. And then on top of that, they had told me they've been watching from my videos for a couple of, I think, years or something like that too. So I was just like, what?
Jeez.
This entire time? So you guys might be being viewed by Lego and you don't even know it. So
Lego, if you're watching, my phone is available for a mock video.
No, I mean, but that is that the fan being recognized by Lego in such a way. I mean, that's gotta feel special.
Yeah, no, and they had never really done that with anybody else. I don't think, not just in Lego Star Wars, but just in the Lego community in general. They've never done anything quite like that before.
Right.
I couldn't have felt more honored to be like the first, and to have that opportunity to work with them. It was a big gratification, honestly, and I still look back onto it and thinking, wow, I can't believe that really actually happened. But yeah, it was a fantastic experience working with Lego and having that happen. It was really cool.
That's awesome. I hope they do that more. More spotlights kind of like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
All right, so is this the first time you've like streamed and built at the same time?
Yeah, no, this is I wouldn't say the very first. Maybe if we go all the way back to the Skype days.
Okay.
Uvu calls and Skype calls that I would build random stuff. I would usually build Lego sets on those. It was like me and like 8 guys.
Gotcha.
That was back in like 2010 days.
Oh wow,
Jeez.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
So how would you say your progress has been building and chatting?
What's that?
How would you say your progress has been? Like, do you think you've gotten some good work done, or
while streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, while streaming. I mean, I don't know if I can show it to you, but like, there's so many here.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I kind of what's nice is you have me talking so much that I'm forgetting that I'm building, but I'm getting the building done at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we like streaming so much. When
I can see the appeal now. You kind of have me hooked on it now.
All right. No excuses from now on.
I'm used to like I love listening to podcasts, especially movie podcasts. I'm a big film nerd. I don't think I really talk too much about that, but I love movies a lot. That's my college major too, is film. So I usually listen to movie podcasts, and a lot of times there's this dedicated movie podcast for Star Wars that I listen to too, and that's usually what I put on for like. But those things only last like an hour sometimes, and all that. So they definitely
go on for 8 hours.
Last a certain amount of time. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Streaming can go on for 8 hours, as Jay and I have found. We've had some long streams.
You guys are crazy. Like, can I give you like I'll have to build a special Lego award for crazy YouTube streamers or something like that?
Being insane.
Yeah, being insane on the YouTube Lego community. Give you an award. I'll make a Lego play button for you guys.
All right.
Out of all awards, that would be the one I would most want. Most insane.
It would be a red play button.
Because we were streaming the other night. I mean, up until like 2:30 in the morning our time.
Yeah,
like,
we started like it was almost a 12-hour stream, I believe.
We had guests on pretty much that whole day too, which helped. We had M&R Productions and Chris Productions on at various points.
M&R Productions. Wow.
He's in the chat right now. He's been watching.
Oh, is that so? What's up, man? I know.
Brian. I think Chris is.
He may have been there, or he may still.
Chris Productions, yeah. Still waiting to meet him. It's kind of a.
Hey, well, I guess he's not even going to be at Brick World.
I know.
Yeah, he's not going to be at Brick World this year.
All the stars were aligned for us to all meet, and now it's falling apart.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually going to be at Brick Fair, Virginia, I believe. So.
Okay, so that means you guys have to go to Brick Fair, Virginia now.
When is Brick Fair, Virginia?
It's the very first week of August.
That's like a month after Brick.
That's actually doable.
It is doable.
It's 6 weeks after Brick World.
Because that's after like our big convention, Brick Fiesta, where we're taking Crait, so we won't have like, we won't have any like crunch time or deadlines or anything going on. That is actually something to consider.
You should
totally go. Like you guys, I can show you around the area and not just be stuck in the convention center too. Our family lives in the area, so I usually stay with them. And I can show you guys around town.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, you should definitely come up. But I might end up meeting you guys down in Texas before you come up to Virginia. We'll see.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, if it works out, that'd be great. We'd show you around in Texas. Have you ever been to Texas before?
I have not. The furthest I've been in the South, other than Florida, like I guess Midwest South, I should say, is Alabama. That's the furthest I've been.
Oh, okay.
That is when I went to Brick Fair, Alabama, the very first one back in 2012.
Yeah, we've been invited to Brick Fair, Alabama. because that's not super far, but it's not super close either.
Right.
Yeah, I don't love traveling with MOCs on a plane. That's my biggest.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally feel you guys. Like that's why I've only really displayed at like Brick Fairs. Like it's a 2-hour drive, and that's enough.
Right.
Like Brick World, Chicago is like a 12-hour drive from where I live.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I would if I go to Brick World, which I think I am, I would not be displaying anything. I would just be there with a camera.
Oh, okay.
That's how to truly enjoy a convention. You can't truly enjoy a convention if you're there stressing over a MOC the whole time.
Exactly.
It's so true, though. It's so true. Oh my god, that's such an accurate statement.
Like it's fun, but it's fun in a different way, and that's why Brick World Chicago. We are both bringing some builds, but we're not bringing all of Crait. Like we're both bringing like individual builds that we did for Crait, and it'll be something that we can just kind of we'll get it there. We'll probably have to fix some things in the morning and then just plop it down, and then we'll be able to explore the convention and walk around and meet people, which is what we're really looking forward to.
I don't understand how you had all the parts for that mountain. Like, did you like have so many Bricklink orders just ready, and like, did you make so many Lego store trips and stocking up for like a month, or like?
So
it would run out halfway through for some odd reason.
We actually planned ahead for this, and because so like I said, we get half off on pick-a-brick orders. So the main thing we need a lot of is all the like the tile and plate that we use for the salt. So 1x1 white plate, 1x2 white plate, and 2x2 white tile, 1x1 white tile, 1x2 white tile, etc. So those like ordering them in bulk off of Pick-a-Brick with our discount is cheaper than getting it through Bricklink. And whenever we would do orders like that, we're like, well, we're gonna need a lot of stuff for the mountain, so we would just throw in, orders of that as well. I mean, like drop in some serious dough on a bunch of gray slopes, but it's been worth it. We still have a ton left over. I mean,
so you're not using your actual Lego store Pick-a-Brick. You're using the online Pick-a-Brick.
Yeah. So basically, the way it's kind of distributed. Watch out, my address is on that. The way it's kind of distributed is anything filler wise, we'll just get from our Lego store. Like it's the most convenient place. Just pick up a bunch of Pick-a-Brick cups, no big deal. For parts that aren't on the wall that Lego has cheaper than Bricklink, we'll get from the Pick-a-Brick website. Especially like the tiles, because you don't really want to order too many white tiles from Bricklink because you'll start getting some weird discoloration unless they're brand new.
Yeah.
And then for everything else, just Bricklink orders.
I got you.
We fortunately, because I've kind of been assimilating some filler since I've been collecting just for MOCs I've had, and Garrett kind of got to that point once we started building together. But we had like a lot of stuff left over from when we did Scarif. I don't even know if you've seen our Scarif MOC, but
yeah, I've seen it. It's put mine to shame.
Don't say that. But we had a lot of filler left over from that we were able to use, and I still have some. Like I have like boxes in there that I still haven't like gone through to grab stuff.
Actually, speaking of our Scarif, like we had a stream where we took apart our Citadel. Like it took us 4 hours, so we just disassembled the whole thing, and it's a lot of 2x6 bricks. So this is all dark gray 2x6 brick.
Good God. Okay, so that makes more sense on how you can build that mountain with like I was just like I feel like I would run out of filler brick like so fast on that.
Oh yeah, no, we specifically saved, like we didn't touch any of the parts we used for the Citadel until this portion of the MOC because we knew we had a lot of bricks in that and we'd need a ton of filler for this. And we're hopefully gonna have at least a significant portion for like the caves because we're gonna do basically an 8 gray base plate section that's just like kind of the inside of the caves and the base, and we know we're gonna need tons of filler for that as well.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say anything.
Just to give you kind of a sneak peek. So I haven't shown this on my channel yet. I just finished building it, but I finally finished building my resistance transport.
Oh wow, that looks fantastic.
Appreciate that, and it's huge. Like
yeah, it really is.
I expected it to be just this small quick thing I designed, and it ended up being like 3,000 parts. But this is going to be parked inside of the base.
I got you.
Sneak peek, guys. Yeah, it's going to be up.
I think I'm gonna build 2 resistant transports that are gonna be half the size of yours, and probably dark gray. But I had a fan submit a design to me. I might take his design, just edit it on LDD, and then use that.
Okay.
Pretty good. I don't know if I
Think of LDD. Do you use LDD or do you use? Have you ever tried stud.io?
So I use both of them. So I use Studo. I call it Studo.
Studo? That's a lot quicker than calling it stud.io.
They really could have given that a more obvious name.
Hold on a second. I am needing to get more pieces. Okay, there we go. Having to empty a picker brick cup and sort through this crap. I don't know why, but I thought I would need 1x2 with the stud in the middle plates for this MOC, and I literally haven't used them once. And I got so many of them, and they're useless. But I'm like, I guess I'll use them.
We have those on our picker brick wall, and I got a bunch of those too, and I realized I don't need them.
Yeah, they're just such a waste. I'm just like, God, these are useless. I wish I had bought more of the I don't know what they're called. They're like the 1x2 slopes. Where's the camera? There it is. These things that I use.
The curve slope.
Yeah, these things are way more useful.
Right.
At least for my MOC, that is.
Do you have enough of those?
Yeah, no. So I'm beginning to run out. It seems like. I mean, I'm stretching thin on them. I'll probably have to place a Bricklink order here soon for more.
I was gonna say, if you need a bunch, talk to me on Instagram because let's just say I have a lot, and I'm not.
I might take that up. Take you up on that proposition there, Jay.
There you go.
For sure.
We got a MOC builder economy started.
Exactly.
Yeah. I am I'm definitely jealous of you guys' ability of accessibility to the amount of Legos you guys get. I wish I could. Not even the fact that you work at the Lego store and get the discount, but more of just the fact that you have a Lego store near you that you can go to constantly and see what's on the shelves.
Oh yeah, without the Lego store, this would not be possible.
Yeah, that's kind of I just want to address. I'm sure people always. I don't know if you guys get this in your comments, but I always see some people sometimes in my comments saying, "Why aren't you guys building as fast as Jay's and Garrett's build?" I'm like, well, one, there's two of them, and two, they have a lot more Lego accessibility than I do.
Right.
So that's definitely a constant thing I hear, and kind of annoys me when fans say that to me. I'm just like, give me a break, guys. It's money's also a part of it, and then you also have can't check up on the Lego store every day or every other day at least.
Yeah, it's like people forget Lego is not cheap.
Yeah, that is a big factor as well, for sure.
That's the funny thing is I feel like we almost take it for granted. If we're building tonight and we're like, oh, we ran out of 1x2 bricks for filler. They'll be like, oh, next time you work, pick some up, or oh, run to the store if you're not working anytime soon, and go pick some up. And most people, most of the world don't really have that luxury because there are not a ton of Lego stores.
Exactly. No, for sure.
I know it's always I do ask people whenever we talk to people. I ask if do you buy most of your Lego at the Lego store, or do you go to somewhere else? And we were talking to Chris the other day, and his nearest Lego store is hours away, and you said that your nearest Lego stores are hours away. So the Lego store is such a boon when it comes to filler brick. Is the main thing. It's something that when we never have to worry about running out. And I mean, we could run out of money, I guess, and then not be able to buy anymore. But with the discount and the accessibility, it is something that it's nice to not have to be worried about too much.
Yeah. Sure. We also have destroyed our previous MOCs. That helps.
That is another thing. At the moment, I don't have the morale to destroy Kashyyyk, and I still have Scarif is perfectly still preserved in lots of different bins. It hasn't been touched at all. I could rebuild it exactly the way I left it off.
Wow, I couldn't even imagine that.
Yep. It's actually just been sitting in my garage for a year. So I have zero excuses for parts because I have the filler brick. It's just on older MOCs that I just don't want to destroy. So I don't know. I gotta have the courage to go destroy something, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it'll happen in the next couple of weeks.
The Kashyyyk I could understand being Kashyyyk you worked on for a really long time, and it's that was kind of. I'm sure that you saw a lot of growth in your channel as you were doing the Kashyyyk series.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a game changer for my channel. At that before Kashyyyk, I was really only known for reviews. Yeah, it was really reviews and maybe my stop motions, my the Star Wars trailers I would make and stuff like, or the stop motion trailers. But that was really it. When I did Kashyyyk, that led to the preparing for videos, which led to, I guess, really just more mock videos from there, and some more, just more Star Wars rather than Lego stuff with the preparing videos. And I've done, I did like a video for the Falcon when it came out. But definitely, I've opened my content to be a little bit different, for sure. So Kashyyyk is, again, like you said, it's definitely a big turning point for my channel for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So do you, I mean, obviously you know about my channel and us, so
oh yeah,
you like keep up with any other noteworthy like mock series or anything like that? Or
honestly, there really isn't that many good.
There are not right now. So then here's a different question. Like,
because
the history of mocks, like what are some of your favorite mocks that people have made?
There, if we go on to Flickr, there is so many amazing mocks. I think the first one that comes to mind, obviously, is Brick Plumber and his.
Yep. Saw that coming.
That's the go-to, but it really is the crown jewel of Lego Star Wars mocks, in my opinion.
For sure.
Like at least fan-made mocks, like excluding the Legoland ones.
Right.
No, I mean he definitely paved the way for the kind of like, a mock being something such like on like a grand scale, like the way he builds, he set his sights so big, kind of paved the way for guys like, like yourself and our mocks and stuff that are, we kind of set out a goal of like, we want to make this thing huge.
Yeah, like I don't even. Sometimes I hear people say like I was the person who kind of started big like Lego Star Wars mocks. Not at all. I would say that the person that really started was probably Mark. There was probably a couple people before him. I know, in the early days back in like 2005, 2004, when the Lego Star Wars community really started getting bigger, I saw some people making like, like the giant Ultimate Collector Series version. That doesn't exist, of the Venator from Revenge of the Sith. Like I think that was a big like mock.
Yeah.
It was like a fan mock, but I think Lego had something to do with it. I think they provided the pieces, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly, but like things like that existed. But there wasn't really anything like battle scene wise before. Like I feel like Mark's mock, but I'm probably wrong there, honestly.
No, I agree. I think he's certainly. I mean, if it is out there, I certainly haven't seen it, but. Yeah, Mark was certainly the pioneer. He's actually the reason I started getting into mock building.
Yeah, Mark is he's a crazy dude who I really want to meet.
So, fact.
Oh yeah, I heard you met him, and I was just like, what?
Please. Yeah, no, So the first time I met him was actually my first like exposure to mocks at all.
Okay.
I went to Legoland Star Wars Days, and I actually went there to see his mock because I found it on YouTube. And so, like, I met him there, and we've talked, and I see him at least once a year there. But this year, he was apparently in one of my streams, and he, like, I mentioned I was going to be doing a vacation in Vegas for something totally not Lego related, and he commented, he's like, "Oh, like, let me know when you're going to be here, so I can give you my address, and you can come by and you can see my mock, and we can hang out." And I was just like, "Okay, sounds good to me." So we got to hang out, and I got to see all of his collection, and I guess he had one half of, it wasn't even a half, it was probably a third of his Hoth mock out that we actually got to look at, and it was just like the most insane Lego collection I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, did he show you his unopened set collection too?
Okay, so the thing about that is it's not just, like here's this room with all of my unopened sets. It's like everywhere. He has just like drawers and cabinets going all throughout his house and his like garage. So I got to see like some drawers of stuff, but like it was so much. Like I can't even explain it. And I'm someone who clearly like I have a different perspective on what's a lot of Lego compared to maybe most people. But even like I can't even explain just how much Lego I saw that day. It was insane.
Oh my god, I'd love to go there, but I'd also like to make a YouTube video about it and show people how crazy people are. Like, if people think I'm crazy with Lego and you guys are crazy, like Mark is on another level.
Exactly, no, and that was the thing. Like, I have someone who asked me, like, why didn't you like interview him or bring a camera. And I was just like, I don't want the first time I go to this man's house like to have a camera in his face. So I was like, I'll try to act like a normal person.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. I probably come from a different aspect of thinking though. But yeah. For sure. Awesome.
I got Jay and I went to Legoland Star Wars Days last year in Legoland in California. That's kind of his stomping grounds.
Yeah, no, definitely. I wish he would go to actual conventions. I think he goes to Brix LA and then Star Wars Day.
Yeah, he goes basically where he can haul his MOC because he obviously has a lot to travel with. So
I'm just so surprised it doesn't come to like any of the big ones like the Brick Fair, Brick World, Brick Fair, Brick Con.
I think
Go ahead.
I think he probably would enjoy it. It's just like I don't know if you've ever been to Legoland Star Wars Days, and it's not a big. I wouldn't say it's a big Lego convention, but there's just so many people who come through there that it's, as a MOC maker, it is very fulfilling because it's all, for one, the most important thing for me is that it's all Lego Star Wars. So
okay, yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
It's
exactly,
really cool.
Yeah. So it's honestly my favorite convention that I go to every year. And I can understand why someone who went to that would maybe not really care about going to like just pure Lego conventions, because I feel like in most Lego conventions the Star Wars sections aren't typically huge.
I got you. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I feel like they're always overwhelmed by either apocalypse, some type of World War II stuff,
Trains,
Bionicle, yeah, city trains, and medieval castle stuff for sure.
Yeah, which no knock on any of that stuff. I enjoy looking at it, but it's like
I want more Star Wars.
I want more Star Wars. I want more people. I want more Star Wars MOC makers that to talk to, and
exactly,
people that are passionate enough about Star Wars the same way we are.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying all fans at these conventions are like this, but some of them, for some reason, when you bring a Lego Star Wars MOC, there's almost like I feel like some of the people joke about that, like, "Huh, it's Star Wars." Like,
yeah, they look down.
They really do.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, really? Come on. We're all MOC builders. We're all Lego fans here.
Star Wars saved this company, guys. Have some respect.
Exactly.
It's not like someone's coming up to me and saying you're crap or whatever. It's more of just like a feeling in the air with how people look at you and stuff.
Yeah, no, like
definitely
whenever, like, if I feel like whenever people will come up and look at your MOC, if they're not a Star Wars fan and you have a Star Wars MOC, like they won't really give you credit for it. They'll just be like, "Oh, okay, cool," and then they just kind of walk away.
For sure.
Yeah, it doesn't register with them, which is fine. I mean, like, I guess like a train set to me doesn't. It's the same. It's the reverse of that. It's like
but I can appreciate it. Like I can appreciate pretty much any Lego MOC that someone has put a lot of time and work and effort into, and if they're using like good techniques, I wouldn't look upon it any less because it wasn't something that I liked.
Right. There was a great train set at Brick Fiesta. That was true.
And don't get me wrong, like all of that stuff is amazing. I always love looking at it. But like, I don't know. I feel like I don't like act that way with their whatever theme they're doing. So,
right. Yeah.
Feels a little unfair, I guess. But whatever. It's not the end of the world.
It's okay.
Yeah. Everything's gonna be okay.
I don't know if you knew this, David. We've mentioned a couple times, but we are taking this to a convention next weekend. Like, It's not a Lego convention. It's
you
like,
said it's like a comic convention.
Yeah, it's a local comic convention. It's like Houston's Comic Con, so it's. There's some celebrities that come. Tom Holland, Spider-Man's gonna be there, but
that makes it big enough.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know when the last time they've had a Star Wars person. Last year they had, what's her name?
Oh my, Jessica
Henwick, who played. I don't know if she played Jess Pava. Jess Pava was the X-wing pilot, the lady X-wing pilot from The Force Awakens.
Oh, okay. Yo, I want to meet the girl from whatever her name was, the A-wing pilot in The Last Jedi. Who
Tali Lentra.
I love her.
Everyone loves her.
I don't know, something about her. I was like, why didn't we get more of her? Why didn't she survive to Crait? Like,
She's a talented actress.
Yeah, he was like totally underwhelming. Like she didn't get a big enough part in the movie, in my opinion.
Bombs away. I did like that line a lot.
Yeah. So I assume both of you liked The Last Jedi, or did one of you hate it, one of you liked it, or what's your opinion on The Last Jedi?
Both of us liked it quite a bit. I don't know if I would go so far as to say I loved it.
You're building Crait.
What was that?
You're building Crait, so I gotta imagine you like it a little bit.
Yeah. You have to like it at least a little bit, yeah, to put so much effort into a MOC.
Yep.
I definitely, I liked it. I put it in my rankings. I think it sits at my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I loved it. It is my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie as well. Oh,
so did you put it above Empire Strikes Back now? Because you were putting Empire Strikes Back below it before.
Yeah, no. I said Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One. I think I said Last Jedi or Force Awakens. I think it was one or the other. It's like tied. I mean, even one or the other, whatever. But I would say Force Awakens is just as good as The Last Jedi. Maybe Force Awakens a tad better, just because of like all of the heroes were in the same. All the old, the original OG cast were in the same movie. Even though Luke was, had his very quick scene at the end, they still were all in the same movie. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think overall I enjoyed The Last Jedi. Like I like a lot of what The Last Jedi added more than I did with The Force Awakens. But on a movie level, The Force Awakens I think is a better movie. Just the pacing, the writing, the pacing and the writing is just so sharp in The Force Awakens. Like it's such a joy. It's such a joy to watch.
I would say watching Force Awakens is like being on a roller coaster. Like it's exhilarating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have built so many salt pieces, way more than I thought it was, to the point where I've exhausted all of my salt pieces.
Wow. See, that's what streaming does for you, man. And time was flying.
Like, I might have enough to cover at least part of this section up here. Like, that's how many I made. It's kind of ridiculous.
So I'm actually curious about something. I feel like when you initially started, before the movie came out, I think Battlefront had already come out, and you wanted to do a lot of the like kind of tunnels like that are they look essentially like blasted into the ground.
Yeah, so I'm actually definitely doing that on that final 3rd section that's going to be right here.
Okay.
So I'm planning on doing the tunnels and the blast section entrances on that 3rd section.
Okay.
And then I just came up with a good idea. I don't know if you guys are planning on it. I don't know. I hope you guys didn't say this already, but I just came up with the idea within the mountains right here. I'm actually, because I was like, what am I going to, I feel like I shouldn't just make it empty. No offense to Garrett's beautiful mountain work. But because I have a little more space behind it, I was thinking, like, what can I do? Like, should I make like a tunnel or something like that? But then I just came up with the idea of like, what if I have like the Millennium Falcon and TIE Fighter scene, but in mini scale within it? And I think that would be really
cool.
Oh, like peering into it and you can kind of see it. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like you would look on the side and you would see the crystal, the caves with all I'm probably use like translucent dark red pieces and fill that up, and then have the kind of flying through it, and maybe make a little explosion. Right? And then possibly put some lights in it too to throw in some little extraness.
Yeah, our idea for the side was we were gonna have some kind of like, because the whole kind of idea is that it's like a big cutout. So you can see the side of the mountain here. It's like there's like little crevices of where you can see like the red crystals and stuff. It's kind of hard to see on stream, but because that's like, so this is like the side here. And as the cave goes on, some of where the mountain gets a little thicker, we wanted to put in little like cave kind of sections as if it was like a cross section. And that's where we would put a lot of our Easter eggs and stuff. So that's what we're kind of doing with the sides.
Wait, did you guys come up with that Falcon idea, or just
No.
All
right. I just want to make sure.
One of my initial plans.
That's all you.
Yeah, one of my initial plans, and I don't know. We'll see if it can still work. Was to actually basically take the front half of my Falcon, so like the mandibles on it, the parts that stick out, and have it essentially like on top of the mountains, kind of blasting out. So like it's basically part of the scene where it busts through the ground.
Oh, okay. So like, are you using which Falcon? Are you going to your Ultimate Collectors?
Yeah, the one I built.
So you're gonna like what? You're just gonna like split it in half? Is that how you're gonna do that?
Yeah, like the front part of it can actually come off pretty easily the way I built it.
Oh, Okay.
And then I'd probably just like put the cockpit beside it and maybe like some of the like some more details on it. But basically kind of make it look like half of it is coming out of the ground.
That's cool. Yeah, no, you should definitely do that.
We shall see. We shall see.
So many Star Wars references.
I'm glad you got it.
I too like the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were a Star Wars fan. I didn't want to ask about it.
Nah, I'm actually relatively new to Star Wars. Like, who's Jar Jar Binks? Should I like him?
Yeah.
So many
Here's a question. So, have you ever had like an experience with like, you know, a MOC getting destroyed or something like like you accidentally breaking something on a MOC or just anything that kind of made you like contemplate whether or not you wanted to keep building?
Oh,
Or
well,
even, like,
not to that point, but I have had something that really pissed me off, which was when I did take Kashyyyk to convention. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was 2 years ago, I think now. But when I took Kashyyyk to Brick Fair, it literally, like, the bottom, the back section with the whole wall and that entire structure had kind of broken a little bit, and it was the biggest. That thing weighs. I'm not joking with you guys. It weighs. I don't know how much. It must weigh at least 200 pounds because it requires 4 to 5 people to lift the crate that it's in.
Wow.
And it is massively heavy. Like, I overbuilt it way too much because it is so ridiculous how heavy it is.
That reminds me of a question I have. Speaking of Kashyyyk, your Kashyyyk MOC at a convention. So you got interviewed by a popular YouTube channel called Beyond the Brick.
Yeah, Josh.
What was that? Like, what happened?
Oh, why was there like a joke at the beginning?
Yeah, like the video was so like they didn't like ask you any questions. They didn't like hardly show the MOC at all. Was it like an in joke with you?
So what had happened there was basically I'm trying to remember exactly the details, but all right, so there's like this, I don't know if I think they're like YouTubers, but it's like half YouTubers. It's this group of like teenagers. They're like half YouTubers, half Flickr users that are Lego builders, and there's maybe like 13, 15 of them that walk. They're like this clique. It's like a clique from high school. It's hilarious.
Okay.
And they're always walking around, and they always like make jokes, not with me, but like, well, sometimes they'll make jokes with me, but usually they're making jokes with other people. But anyhow, right before that video, I forget exactly what it was, but they were doing some type of joke, and so that's when Beyond the Brick was coming over to the table, and there was like they were there, and they had just kind of left. They were actually, I think they were behind that camera. Haha, behind the brick, behind the camera. All right, anyhow. Terrible jokes tonight, guys. Terrible jokes.
Sorry.
That's why people come to these streams. It's all right.
Exactly. Yeah, so like that, there was like this practical joke that had just happened, and therefore, like, it was kind of weird, like, because like I was upset with what they were doing, and I think the guys Beyond the Brick knew that too, so they were like kind of caught off guard. So that's why that video was like so weird, and I'm surprised they didn't want to film it like another time during the day.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, why would they upload that?
Because not only like you had a huge Star Wars MOC there that they would of course want on their channel, but like they clearly knew who you were in your YouTube channel and stuff, and that would have been a great video for them to have.
It didn't make much sense. And if I remember correctly, Joshua wasn't in that video, was it? It was his other guy. I forget what's his name. Who was?
Yeah, it wasn't Josh. It was.
I don't think he works for the channel anymore, or he doesn't do the videos anymore. But yeah, he was a different guy. Yeah. Josh Hanlon would never allowed that. He would have never allowed that.
Yeah, like I think that's part of the reason why it wasn't refilmed is because Joshua wasn't there. And I have more respect for Joshua than I do. I forget the other guy's name, but he seemed to like go along with that whatever practical joke that was going on then, rather than
that's the vibe I got.
Seriously.
But I was always so baffled by that whole that video.
Yeah, no, like Joshua and his brother, I have no beef with them at all. Like, they're great guys, and I'm so happy their channel is succeeding the way it is. But that video was a little interesting, and I'm a little sad I didn't refilm it. But it honestly, like, up until right now, until you guys brought it up, I haven't really thought about it. So it's not like some beef that's been in the back of my head this entire time. But,
it's not tension that's been brewing.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff just happens. You get drama at conventions. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it happens depending on who you are. But I mean, it's whatever. I don't really care. It's all childish acting, in my opinion.
Right. Well, Joshua Hanlon will be at Brick Fiesta. We will chat with him.
Yeah, no, I love Josh. He's great.
We're gonna make things right.
Already. But yeah, no, hopefully I get to talk to him again. I haven't talked to him since last year, very vaguely too. Yeah.
Nah, he's a great guy. We met him last year.
Yeah, mainly because the Beyond the Brick team, they're always if they're not making videos, did you guys ever meet Kevin Hinkle? Did you ever meet him?
Yeah,
I've never met him.
He actually he's from Texas, I believe. He worked at one of the Lego stores around. So basically everyone kind of in this area knows Kevin Hinkle.
Right. So like I compare Joshua to like Kevin Hinkle now, because like he's just as I feel like as popular among conventions as Kevin was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I get a funny joke, it's like a little joke about that. I feel like yeah.
One thing I did wonder, are you going to include your Lego set AT-AT in the MOC alongside the ATM6s? I'm
sorry, could you say that one more time?
Are you going to include your Lego set, like the AT-AT? I think it scales pretty well with Miho's.
Yeah, it really just depends on how crowded it gets. Like, I think I'm decided now that I'm going to do 3 ATM6s, but I don't know, because I'm going to prioritize putting Kylo Ren's shuttle in first, and that'll be the first thing that goes on the MOC, and then I'll add the ATM6s. And then if it feels right to put the AT in, like if I have enough room and it doesn't feel like it's overcrowded, like I hate this with MOCs when people start stuffing in stuff to the point where you can't even see the MOC. Like that's just annoying.
Yeah.
So that's definitely not something I don't want to do.
For sure.
So it really just comes down to that. So the answer is yes, I'll do it if it works for the MOC, not for necessarily accuracy purposes.
Yeah. So I think Garrett and I have pretty much reached an endpoint here. We're going to build. We actually got to start packing up somewhat and figure out how we're going to get this thing to our convention next week.
Yeah, here we'll show David real quick how exactly we're taking all of this. So the whole MOC separates into gray base plates.
Yeah.
All just various ones, and then we have the Lego store coming in clutch again. The roller coaster just came out.
So we had a bunch of boxes from
these massive boxes that will fit the base plates will slide in there, and we have saran wrap and stuff. So hopefully it should be a fairly painless process, but you know how it goes.
Oh yeah. Something I tend to use is the bins. You can buy them at Walmart. It's those I forget what they call them. They're the bins that they have wheels and you roll them under your bed and you put clothes in them. They're like storage.
Right.
bins.
Yeah, exactly. What you
things always fit gray base plates, and usually can get a good height on them. So like that's what I use those in combination with other giant clear plastic bins. I tend not to use boxes because I can't see what's happening. I can't see if anything's broken or not.
You have a lot of faith.
You have to pray and wait.
Yeah, like you guys, I give you mad probs for risking the boxes.
Appreciate it.
But good luck.
Well, yeah, man. It's been a wonderful time having you on here. I really appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, no, if you guys want to do this again sometime, like I'm surprised how much building I got done within this.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we love, like we said, we love doing the streams. We love chatting with people, and like someone like you, it's awesome to have on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm more than welcome to get back on sometime soon, whenever you guys get back from the convention.
For sure.
Yeah, no, it was great talking to you. I hope all the fans enjoyed it. Who knows what they were saying down in the comments.
I think they seem to enjoy it. I think they're pleasantly surprised by you being on a stream.
I'll throw them a bone. This is kind of an inside joke for our channel, but someone has been asking multiple times. They want us to ask you about your opinion on yellow minifigure heads.
Oh, I don't really have an opinion. I mean, I prefer accuracy more, so that's why I use the flesh-colored heads.
There you go, guys. He has the correct opinion.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we know you're welcome back on the channel.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty easy decision or opinion. Yeah. So.
For sure.
Awesome,
well, all right. So, guys,
I'll let you guys get going, but it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. You take care. Good luck on the mock. Can we expect an update sometime soon?
Yeah, the update will be probably in the next 2 hours. You'll see it on my YouTube feed.
There you go.
Awesome.
There's the plug, guys.
I'll be waiting for it. So, everyone, appreciate you for watching. Special thanks to David Hall for giving us his time and chatting with us about the best thing that has ever been created. So, we'll be probably back again sometime after this next week. Guys, stay tuned. There's going to be an amazing update tomorrow. We've gotten so much done on the mock. Like, I can't wait to show it all off. So tomorrow is going to be a pretty epic update, and then we'll film some stuff when we go to the convention. So wish us luck, guys. We're going to put a lot of faith into these boxes that we're packing these things into.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Exactly, yeah. If you guys want to see a tragedy, here's a plug. Go back in the depths of my channel and look at my Millennium Falcon unboxing. I basically transported my Falcon to Legoland Star Wars Days last year in a suitcase. Checked. It didn't go too well. So if you want to see a funny video, go on my channel and check that out, guys. We're hoping for that not to happen this time. So that's going to finish it up. David, like I said, good luck, all that good stuff.
Good luck on you on your transportation. Like, I hope your mock nothing breaks or anything like that.
That would be tragic.
I also hope that it doesn't die.
I mean, it looks built extremely well, so I think it'll survive.
For sure. All right, guys. I'll see you later.